welcome to Rachel Uncensored, one of the few places on the internet that you can find an uncensored version of me. Hello, I'm Rachel Ballinger, and welcome to another solo episode. Y'all, I'm just going to jump right into this. We are on number 97 of my book. Only, 3 more after this? This is a big deal. This is a big deal. It might be a big deal, but this entry is a short one. Are you ready for it? If you didn't know, I wrote a book, 101 Things That Piss Me Off. We're on number 97, and it reads, you know what pisses me off? When I want something, but it's over there, and the only thing I said about it is, that's just too far away. I'm a comedic genius. That's all there is. And I stand by it. There are a lot of things that I go, well, my opinions have changed. I'm not like that anymore. But this one, no, I stick by this one. I say, yeah, that is too far. I have an issue with doing things for myself, but if it's for someone else, I'll do it. If Abby asks me to do something, no problem. Of course I will. But for myself, not a chance. That is too far away. I don't want to do it. I feel like that's like a common theme in my life. If it's for me, no. If it's for someone else, yes, of course. Does that mean I don't love myself enough? Or is it that I already know that I love me? And I'm always trying to make sure that other people know that I love them. So I'm willing to do anything to kind of prove my love. And I've already proved my love to myself. So, do I not have enough love for myself, or do I have so much? Yeah? No, I'm lazy. I'm a lazy people pleaser. That's what that is. All right, guys. I have nothing fancy for you today, so we're just going to go read some Am I the Assholes on Reddit. Last week we went over things that were censored or banned throughout life, or the last solo episode, I guess. And then this one, we're going to read Am I the Assholes? Oh my God, I immediately want to read this. Am I the asshole for refusing to engage with my dead husband's secret mistress? Nope. I just say, nope. That is not someone who you need a relationship with. I don't know if this is real or not, but let's read it, shall we? My husband passed away suddenly and violently a year ago. Violently? Does that mean like a car crash? I'm being nosy. It doesn't matter. While cleaning out his items, I uncovered several letters from a female detailing a 10-year affair mailed to our home that he had apparently intercepted. We had his... Okay, what? She is wanting to get caught. She wants him to get caught mailing a letter? What is this? The 60s? Why are you mailing letters? It's 2025, I think. Is it? Yeah, that sounds right. It's 2025. Why are we mailing letters? Confessing to crimes. This seems ridiculous. Text, DM, FaceTime. I have my red flags about this, but we'll go on. We had his cremation and private family ceremony. And then 1 year later to the day, I got a text message out of nowhere from a female claiming to be his girlfriend. She claims she was the love of his life. And she told me that she knew I was keeping his cremains away from her and wanted half of them, which was odd as I woke. This person wrote things extremely wrong. It says, which was odd as I woke with the funeral home. I'm guessing spoke with the funeral home and organized events to bury his cremains in a private family ceremony a month after his passing. And I have no clue who this person is. Okay. This woman also took it upon herself to contact my in-laws, his sister and brothers, and beg them to take them into their lives, send them photos of my husband and her together, and said that I was a rotten human and that he promised he would leave for many years but never did. She also contacted our 18-year-old daughter and posed as a friend of her father's, got her to meet up for coffee, and started asking all sorts of personal questions about me and my relationship and the funeral. I don't know. So there's more, but let me say real quick. One, this never happened. or this person is crazy. Those are the only two options. I want to say this didn't happen because this seems ridiculous, but I have known people who have had this type of crazy in their life, so I can't put anything past anyone. We'll keep reading. During her message to me, she called me many names and was very immature. Okay, this doesn't sound like it was written by an adult. I also need to note that this woman is 60 years old, a full 15 years older than myself, and claimed that my husband and her had big plans and that I was a rotten person and she would prove it and tell my in-laws. Am I the a-hole for telling this woman not to interfere with my family and his family and to leave my daughter alone? No one would ask, am I an asshole for this? No one would be like, am I a bad person because my dead husband's mistress, who's been a complete bitch to me and my entire family and who's spreading lies about me, am I wrong for not wanting a relationship? I don't think anyone would ever ask that question. I'm having a hard time believing that this was real. I have blocked her, but I'm pretty shaken up. I feel like I have been blindsided and I'm not allowed to move forward in my life and now have to defend my marriage and myself to a stranger. Mind you, this was riddled with misspellings and grammatical errors. Not the asshole. Yes, this woman is grieving as well, but she was the one having an affair with a married man. She has no right to bother you or your family. I'm sorry that you have to cope with this betrayal while you are also grieving. You are in no way wrong to do what you can to protect your peace. Info. Oh, everyone's saying not the asshole, but no one's like calling this person out. Oh, sis said, I call BS on this whole thing. Why is this even a question? Yeah, this is the first one that I'm a little skeptical of. I feel like I've blindly believed all of these, and if they're not real, then they're just funny stories. But I don't believe this one. And also, this is not one that anyone would ask, am I the asshole for? I'm moving on. No. I don't believe it. If you believe it, cool. But I'm not involved in that one. Let's move on. All right. Am I the asshole for grounding my stepdaughter for selling my formal dress? Ooh. I don't know. Do you have the right to, do you have the power to ground? How long have you been involved with their life? How old are they? This is a whole thing. If you're new, you don't have the right to do anything. You are not a parent. But if you've been around for a while, I'd say you have rights. But let's see what happened. I, a 37-year-old female, have a stepdaughter, Amy, a 16-year-old female. Amy was looking for formal dresses, and I mentioned that I have my old formal dresses. She picked my old prom dress to wear, and she has kept it in her own wardrobe since wearing it at prom. I don't fit in my old dresses anymore, and I kept them and some other clothes to hand down to my kids. However, I have two sons who aren't interested. Since my nieces, 15 and 13, are interested in my clothes, I plan to give them the rest once they are old enough to fit into them. All right, you got some clothes you don't fit into, but you're saving them for your nieces. Cute. Amy left her earbuds in her sweatpants pockets and turned on the washing machine. When she asked for new ones, me and her dad told her to save up to buy new ones. She worked part-time, as she wanted an expensive brand new pair and not the wired headphones I had offered. Amy went to stay with her mom, and when she got back, she had new earbuds she wanted. So I asked if her mom had bought them for her, and she said she had resold my dress on a secondhand site and bought herself the earphones. The dress is 100% silk, one of a kind, and the brand doesn't exist anymore. I was really upset to hear that she had sold my dress without even asking. I confiscated her earbuds and told her I would give them back when she repaid me the cost of what she had sold the dress for. My husband thinks I was being too harsh, as I wasn't explicit on whether I was lending or giving her the dress. Amy has gone to live with her mom since and thinks I'm being unfair. I'm not sure if I have taken it too far and if I should stand my ground. Oh no, girl knew what she was doing. She's 16. She knew what she was doing. She was mad. She knew this was a situation that was probably like, I rather ask for forgiveness than permission. She knew. She knew that was your dress. And and it wasn't like she had forgotten because she told you that she sold your dress to pay for it. And she was mad that you weren't willing to pay for the earbuds. Okay, let's see what people say. I'm saying you're not the asshole, and she knew what she was doing. And she can go to her mom's and get away from you because she's upset. Like, that's just what it is. Not the asshole, and you are underreacting. She's lucky you haven't pressed charges already. Okay, that's a little extra. Pressed charges. Yogurt apart 1411. Relax. Pressing charges on a 16-year-old because they sold your dress. That is ridiculous. That is no. Someone says she should try to contact the buyer and get the dress back and pay for the shipping. That's not happening. None of this is, guys. This is not a thing. No one's contacting the person who bought the dress. No one's pressing charges. I think we have a little bit of a overreaction in the comment section here. I think taking her earbuds and grounding her is a very appropriate reaction. Relax. Everyone was a little too gung-ho here. Someone's saying file a police report. You do realize this is her stepdaughter that will be in her life for the rest of her life. This isn't a neighbor or a random kid on the street. This is a human being. She wants to be a part of the family forever. I think people are a little too gung-ho. So finally, someone said filing a police report on your 16-year-old stepdaughter who ostensibly hasn't done anything like this before is unhinged. She herself admits she wasn't clear on whether she was giving the stepdaughter the dress to keep or to borrow. Well, the stepdaughter should have probably checked before selling it. She is also only 16. Yeah, relax. Like, that's insane. I don't think you're overreacting. I think these comments are overreacting. Jeez, we get the cops involved when like someone's life is on the line. Okay? Now, when someone resells a dress, someone said, let's slow down the police train a bit. She's a teen. She did something impulsive and deserves consequences, but she doesn't need a rap sheet to learn a lesson. Teens do dumb stuff all the time. Ruining any path back to trust isn't a good look for any family situation. You aren't being too harsh, and that seems a fitting punishment. Yeah, geez Louise, people, calm down. God, I need a break. Let's check to see if we have a sponsor for today. Sponsor. Home Chef. Home Chef is our sponsor for today. Do you find yourself eating the same thing over and over again? I know I do. But work is burning you out, so you don't have time to search for new meals, pick out ingredients, and learn how to cook something new? And what if you don't even like it? What if you go through all that trouble and it's not even good? Home Chef gets it and is here to make meals easier and healthier, along with tons of variety. Home Chef delivers fresh ingredients and chef-designed recipes conveniently to your doorstep to simplify your cooking experience. Users of leading meal kits have rated Home Chef #1 in quality, convenience, value, taste, and recipe ease, which is my favorite thing about it. That and how everything tastes delicious. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs. Plus, it's economical. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. And in this economy, you can't afford not to get it. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering my listeners 50% off and free shipping for your first box, plus free dessert for life. Go to homechef.com/Rachel. That's homechef.com/Rachel for 50% off your first box and free dessert for life. Homechef.com/Rachel. You must be an active subscriber to receive a free dessert. This one's intriguing. Am I the asshole for kicking a family out of our condominium pool just because they don't live here? Okay, so these people live in like a area where there's a communal pool in the middle of it. I've seen these before. My aunt used to live in one of these places, and my dad used to take us to go swimming in said pool without her there. So I am someone who has swam at a pool that I didn't live at when the person who does live there wasn't with us. So I've done this. But let's see the situation, shall we? I was enjoying my coffee poolside at our condominium on a Sunday morning. A mother and her 2 kids arrived who were clearly not residents because they drove up with all their pool stuff in their car and changed into their bathing suits in the bathroom. A resident who just walked here A resident would just walk here. The association isn't that big and would have changed in their unit. It's been almost 100 degrees for a week. The kids jumped in the pool and started splashing around, having a great time. Yeah, they were noisy, but they were just being kids. I started thinking about what if all the kids from the surrounding apartment buildings that don't have pools started using our pool. Was I the asshole for pointing out that the sign said residents only and making them leave? Yes. I don't even need to finish this. You kicked them out because you made a hypothetical situation in your head. You were like, this is fine, but what if it wasn't? And then kicked them out. You were like, they're being noisy, but they're just being kids. Like, you didn't have a problem with them. You had a problem with a hypothetical situation in which you created in your head that didn't exist in front of you. Like, what? Okay, I will keep reading, but that is ridiculous. I get it if they were the most annoying people and people kept showing up and more families kept showing up, and then you were finally like, there's no space for me to put my things. There's not a seat available for me. None of these people live here. I pay to live here and use this pool, and I can't because people are taking advantage of the unlocked gate. Okay, that's when you say something. But to say something because of a hypothetical situation in your head, that's ridiculous. I will keep reading. After all, they weren't really harming anything. The kids were so disappointed that I made them leave that they started crying. It's been so hot that I'm sure being in the pool was a great relief. Yeah, you're a fucking asshole. You made children cry. Like, what the fuck? Am I the asshole for making children cry when they weren't doing anything wrong? What? Nope, I can't speak. OTOH. On the other hand, I believe that's what that means. We pay for the pool. Plus, if they get injured, they would sue the condo association. Again, you are creating hypothetical situations. You don't know if they would. You're saying if they got injured. No one got injured. And you're saying if they did get injured, they would 100% sue. You do not know that. And why do you care? What do you care if these people who you don't know sues the association that's not you? You're not involved. If the association cared, they should put locks on the gates and have a guard there. If this was really, why are you concerned about a company that you have nothing to do with? If word got out that anyone could swim in our pool, anyone would. Again, you are making up a hypothetical situation in your head and reacting based on that. And before you go there, everyone involved in this story is the same race. Didn't think about race once. You added that. I think you're a giant asshole because you said the kids weren't bugging you. You had your space. You're just chilling. And you started stressing about things that weren't actually happening and made children cry based on that. I don't even care what the response is. Okay, everyone is saying, no, I'm going to read this because this is a fun thread. Not the asshole, but in the future, you probably want to inform the property management and let them handle it. You aren't being paid to be the pool police, and one never knows how folks are going to react to such things. Someone said, is the property management available on Sunday morning, though? Is playing pool police worth a potentially violent response? Okay, people, again, are just responding to hypothetical situations. Oh, man. Okay, this says, sorry, everyone, but I have to say not the asshole. I have a home in an HOA community, and we do not need a lawsuit because some non-residents were hurt at the pool they weren't supposed to be at in the first place. Okay, guy, everyone's like, it's a liability issue. Guys, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. Also, who says that they're gonna, one, get hurt, and if they did, sue? Not everyone is sue hungry. Not everyone's wanting to sue everybody. God, I hate America sometimes. I personally say not the asshole because it would be so different if you were like, these people were so disrespectful. They were splashing me. They were screaming. They were leaving their trash everywhere. So I told them, hey, this is for residents only, get out. That is so different, so astronomically different than these people were being totally fine and non-disruptive, but I made an entire hypothetical situation in my head and made children cry based on that. Like, what the fuck? My battery's about to die. My camera's giving up just like I am. One sec. I went through all those comments and I am the only one on the asshole train. If you want to tell the association, hey, I've noticed a lot of non-residents using the pool. Like, do you guys mind putting a lock on the gate or having a guard or putting up extra flyers or something? Sure, do that. But like, if they weren't bugging you, what is your deal? Like, if they were being a nuisance, if there were loads of families doing it, if you just notice something, just tell I don't know. I just think it's mind your business, I guess. They weren't causing a problem and you anticipated that it would be one day. And so you responded, but that doesn't mean that it would. Okay. I'm going to move on to this one because it has a very intriguing title and it's already been labeled not the asshole. Am I the asshole for breastfeeding my niece? So I immediately say yes, because if the mother of that child, the mother and the father of that child have not given you permission to breastfeed their child, I would say that is crossing a line. That is not okay. I actually know of a mom who walked in and saw her mother-in-law simulating breastfeeding it, like she had her boob in the child's mouth, and the mom freaked out. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, he was crying. She said, that is so inappropriate to do. So, because breastfeeding is for some breastfeeding people, I want to say moms, but not everyone's a mom. Anyway, for breastfeeding people, they say it is a huge connection and it's like an intimate thing. So to just do that without asking, I think is a violation. But again, this is just the title. Everyone is labeled not the asshole, but I haven't been agreeing with people. So let's read this. My sister, a 25-year-old female, has a 4-month-old, and I, a 28-year-old female, have a 6-month-old. We're very close, and she asked me to watch her baby overnight last night. She brought bottles and pumped milk and informed me that she's never tried giving her a bottle, but it should be fine, and left. A couple hours later, her baby was hungry. I prepared a bottle and tried feeding her the bottle, but no matter what I did, she wouldn't take it. She just kept crying. After 2 hours of trying to feed her a bottle and then trying to spoon feed her and her screaming and me being unable to reach my sister, I informed my sister of what I would be doing and I breastfed her baby. I guess she didn't check her phone for several hours because I ended up feeding her baby twice before my sister responded, and she was furious. She said I had no right to do that and I should have figured something else out. So I'm wondering, am I the asshole here? She hasn't spoken to me since picking my niece up. Okay, so this one is a little different. The baby was actually hungry and starving, and you couldn't get a hold. You tried everything. I would actually say, I understand this one. I'm going to say not the asshole. Though I can't believe, I can believe it. It's hard to grasp that a new mom of a 4-month-old who's never been away from the house, the mom would constantly be checking her phone. That's a little weird to me. But I would say you tried everything. The baby was hungry and crying. You genuinely tried everything. So I would say not the asshole. Someone said, your sister is the asshole for her negligence, lack of preparation, and not having her phone on her in case of a baby emergency, which there was. What parent completely walks away from their phone when they've left their toddler for a few hours? It's not even a toddler, it's a baby. Her irresponsibility is staggering. You did everything you could before you resorted to breastfeeding her child. It was literally your last resort. After trying for hours to feed her with the bottle and even a simple spoon, your sister's baby was hungry, extremely upset, and you had no other alternative. In your care, the child came first. Your sister could learn a lesson or two in mothering from you, not the asshole. Yeah, I would say not the asshole. The original title, was like, whoa, no, but you did everything you could. You tried to contact the mom. Nothing was helping. Nothing was working. Babies need to be fed like every minute. Was it a couple hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? I don't know. Babies got fed a lot. All right. So especially since the baby's never taken a bottle before, that's a little ridiculous. So I'll agree with that. Not the asshole, which was surprising to me. Ooh, this one. Am I the asshole for refusing to give my cousin a ride to her university every morning, even though I pass by it? Maybe? Let's read. So I, a 19-year-old female, recently started driving to my own university in Clifton. My cousin, a 20-year-old female, goes to a different university, but it's kind of on the way. Not exactly on the route, but like 10 to 15-minute detour depending on traffic. Oh, that's out of the way. It's genuinely out of the way. She found out I drive now, and her mom's asking if I can pick her up every morning so she doesn't have to take a Kareem or bus. That sounds like a European thing. Thing is, I already wake up super early to avoid traffic, and her timings are slightly later than mine. If I agree, I'd have to leave later, deal with more traffic, and probably be late to my own classes. Then, yeah, no. If it's an inconvenience, it's a no. That's just all there is to it. If it was 2 extra minutes added to your day, and that was it, you left 2 minutes earlier, and you didn't have to deal with traffic, nothing else changed, I'd say, come on, you don't have to, but it would be nice if you did. This seems a little bit more than that. It's not on the way. You leave later, you hit traffic. If she wants to be picked up way earlier, then that's fine, I guess. But no. I said no, politely told her it messes with my routine, and I'm already stressed with my own stuff. Now my whole extended family's acting like I'm being selfish and spoiled just because I have a car. My mom's neutral about it, but keeps saying, it would have been nice of you. Yeah, of course it would have been nice, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. It would be nice of me to give away all of my money, but then that would be extremely inconvenient for me. But I'm not an asshole for not giving away every cent I have. It would be nice of me. It would be very nice of me. It would be very nice of me to give my house to a random stranger. I'm not going to do that. Just because it's nice doesn't mean you should or you're expected to. I think people are getting these things very confused. I get that transport in my city sucks, and she probably just wants to avoid long bus rides. But like, it's not my job. Am I the asshole for not wanting to do this favor every day? No, not even a little bit. But let's see what people say. Not the asshole. If she would agree to get up early and compensate you for gas and your time, it might make it worth your while. But family deals can be difficult. What happens if she starts being habitually late to your pickups? Again, we're stressing about a hypothetical. Bottom line is it's your choice, not your aunt's or your cousin's choice. Not the asshole. She's asking for a lot and not even offering to give you anything in return. Your time and money. Also, it makes everything a lot more difficult for you. Yeah. Everyone's saying you got to get something in return. And also, you can't cater to her schedule. She has to cater for yours. If someone's doing you a favor, you have to cater to them. The person doing the favor and going out of their way is not the person that needs to cater. That's ridiculous. I'm mad. I'm mad that anyone would think family pisses me off sometimes. Not mine. I love mine. But people that have really toxic family dynamics where they're just like, well, you're family, so you're supposed to do this. No. That doesn't mean anything. Having strong family is a really great privilege and blessing. And it's nice to have people there that have known you since birth, who understand the ins and outs of how you were raised, and can be there for you, but they don't have to be. Like, family can be a great thing, but it's not something to be used as a manipulation tactic, as an excuse for your shitty behavior, as your reasoning for being selfish. Like, I'm like, well, I want to be, like, when Abby and I talk about Christmas, like, how do we spend our Christmases? We both want to be with our families because we love our families. That's when it's family. That's when that sentence is said. I want to be in California because it's my family. I don't say it like, well, I got to give up everything I own and do things I hate because it's family. That's not how I use that sentence. Family is always a positive thing. It shouldn't be negative. Like, no, I don't. That's ridiculous. All right. This will be our last one. Am I the asshole? 8 months pregnant, and my partner's sister is pressuring me to take in their sick mom. I don't think the world gives enough grace and praise and respect and love to pregnant people. I just don't. I don't understand how someone could be creating life 9 months in and people expect anything from them. No. Nothing should be expected of them. But let's read. Am I the asshole for not wanting the responsibility of taking care of my mother-in-law? I'm 8 months pregnant, working from home, and living with my boyfriend in a 3-bedroom townhouse. One room is ours, one room is for the baby, and one is a guest room. His mom is currently staying with another family member, but that person is no longer willing to care for her due to the demands of her illness and her difficult behavior. Oh, that is the worst when someone needs medical care and is a dick. Because I feel like a lot of people who need medical care and are really nice, like people want to help them. But when you're a dick, like this is just a rule of thumb. Don't be a dick. Like, just don't. It makes life so much easier when you're just not a dick. I feel like everyone can agree with that, but for some reason, people don't live by it. Now my boyfriend's sister, who lives out of state and works full-time in Chicago, is pressuring us to have their mother move in with us, claiming we have the space. She's not offering any real help, just insisting that their mom has nowhere else to go and that we should step up. The thing is, I'm about to give birth, and I'll be responsible for a newborn basically alone most of the day, since my boyfriend works outside the home. My boyfriend has actually spoken to his sister multiple times and made it clear that this setup isn't realistic, especially with a newborn on the way. He's been supportive and stood up for me, but his sister keeps pushing the idea like we're the only option. I don't have the capacity emotionally, physically, and logistically to care for a newborn and a sick adult who needs help with daily routines and appointments. I'm not a nurse, and I'm not okay starting our new family and relationship with this massive responsibility suddenly dropped on me. Yeah, no. It's a no. It's a no from me, dog. I feel unfair. It feels unfair that I'm being cornered into this just because I'm nearby and working from home. I want to be compassionate, but I'm also trying to protect my health, my baby, and the foundation of our future as a family. Am I the asshole for feeling this way or for not wanting to have this responsibility? Edit. I appreciate everyone's response. Additional details I'd like to add. My boyfriend and I have been looking into home care for her, along with the facilities to put her because no one in the family is stepping up. We are waiting to talk to her doctor. The mom lives about an hour and a half from us. She expects us to take her to appointments despite us living this far. The mom visited us this past weekend, and having her here for 2 days only was a lot of work. We have a 2-story place. She couldn't even walk up the stairs. She has certain dietary restrictions, and overall, I'm glad everyone agrees with me. I feel more strongly to stand on the answer no. I have to think for me and my baby. Yeah, I don't think anyone would think you're an asshole. There are so many facilities that can do that. It's annoying as hell. It takes so much work to put them in there. It isn't ideal for the patient, but this is life. Like if you, as a parent, haven't set up that stuff for yourself, you can't expect your kids to just take care of you. I think a lot of people think, well, I had kids, so they'll take care of me. No, that's not the case. You take care of your children because you chose to have them. You chose to raise them. And then whatever happens after that is their decision. So you have children, you raise them, and then prepare for them not to fucking take care of you in the end. You have to set up things for yourself. And if they are wanting and willing to step up at the end, then you've just made things so much easier for them in the long run by having things already in order. And that's just like how life is. I know that's a best case scenario. Not everyone has the privilege of being able to set aside money and figuring things out. Sometimes things happen rapidly and unexpectedly, but you can't expect your children to take care of you in these types of situations. It would be nice. I understand it would be nice and it's what your dream is, but sometimes that's not always what's going to end up happening or a realistic thing. Like this woman is 8 months pregnant. She's about to have a baby. They live in a house with stairs. They don't have the capabilities of taking care of you. Just because you want them to be your nurse doesn't mean that they can be your nurse. And those are two very different things. All right, guys. That's it for today. I am still shocked by the pool one. I have a feeling no one's going to agree with me, but I'm like, if no one's causing an issue, relax. And once it becomes an issue, that's when you tell your HOA. That's when you tell the community, not just, you made children cry. They weren't doing anything. They don't know. All right. I love you guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Leave stuff below for next week if you want to ask me questions or talk to me or whatever. I love you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Rachel Uncensored, the only place on the internet where you can find the uncensored version of me, Rachel Ballinger. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, or follow, or do whatever this platform tells you to do so that you can get notified every time I post a new episode. Love ya.